having a lot of ups and downs with my energy. When did I go to the doctor? Oh, okay. So I don't know when this started. Probably about 2 years ago, I started having a lot of facial pressure up in my sinuses, in my nose, down here, up and around my eyes. And when I was in a class one time, I remember we had to watch a video on the screen, and my eyes like could not focus. They just got super blurry and would bounce around, and like I couldn't control my eye movement, and it like freaked me out. And I told my teacher, I was like, I gotta go take a break, like I can't focus, like something's going on, it's just not right. So he let me go take a break. And I remember just having like random times, just like facial pressure that just felt like a 10-pound weight on my face, and coupled with like extreme fatigue all the time still. So about a month ago, I went back to my doctor, and I had gone to her probably 6 months before that for other issues, but still, I would still complain about fatigue constantly and just couldn't find an answer. So about a month ago, I went back to her, and I was like at the end of my rope because I had been out of a job for a couple months and literally been bedridden because of how tired I was. And that is just not normal. I felt like an old lady that just like stayed in bed all day, or someone with cancer that just like had no energy to get up and get moving. Like I was exhausted. And like I chalked it up to it being my period, thinking it had to do with my cycle. So I went to my gynecologist. He gave me a pill that just gave me chest pain, so I stopped doing that. And I was like, wait a second, like I'm not just tired, but my period's about to come around. I'm tired like literally all the time. Like when I look at my phone and what I've tracked, it's every single day almost, give or take a few days maybe out of the month, where I feel like absolute crap. So I was like, mate, like that cannot be right. Like it cannot just be my cycle that is causing this. So I went back to my doctor. I was like, I need answers. I told her, I was like, fatigue is like my number one problem, but here are all my other issues. And I had a bunch. One of them was like the facial pressure. I had a lot of dizziness. I had a lot of nausea and feeling like I was about like gonna vomit. I didn't have an appetite for a certain amount of time. And what else? What else did I say? I think that was pretty much, those were pretty much my main symptoms. But mostly fatigue. I complained about fatigue. And I was like, I really need answers. Like, I've seen so many other doctors, and she was a doctor that like really just seemed like she really cared and really wanted to help me. She listened. And she told me like at my last visit, she's like, we're gonna get to the bottom of this with another issue that I had. And she just like really took control, and I felt loved. So this time I went back to her and I told her this, and she said the same thing. She was gonna get to the bottom of the issue, and I felt like I was gonna get an answer, and I did. But we'll get there. So I was given a bunch of blood tests again. They all came back perfectly. I was completely healthy in my blood. And then she sent me to an ENT because I complained about my face, like having a lot of pressure and having sensitivity to the sunlight. So she sent me to an ENT, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor. I went there, and I forgot. I guess it's really not that important. So I had a sinus CT taken like 6 months ago before I started seeing her. I went to another doctor in the same building. She was terrible. Like she got me in and out of her office within like 5 minutes. I don't like it when doctors just like whip you in there and whip you out like they have other things to do. And so I had a sinus CT done about 6 months before that, and which is like about a year ago today. And they literally did not tell me anything. I looked up I don't even think I looked at my results online, no. Yeah, they called me and they told me everything was fine, everything was normal. But when I went to the ENT, she pulled up my sinus CT scan, and she found that I have chronic sinusitis. Yeah. I've had that for 3, maybe 4 years now, and we're just found it out, which I'm like so thankful for. Thank you, Lord. It completely, like, getting treated for this has completely changed my life. Oh my gosh. But chronic sinusitis, and I was like, why did the previous doctor not tell me this? Like, this could have changed my life like 6 months ago, you know? Like, so she found that, she explained it to me what it was. It's like a sinus infection that keeps coming back. And I went home later that night and I was like, like, if this is the only thing the doctors could find, is it even related to my fatigue? Like, or is that like a completely different issue entirely? I looked it up, and chronic fatigue syndrome, is the #1 complaint of patients with chronic sinusitis. Like, because it gets in your blood, a sinus infection, it gets in your blood and it infects your whole body. Like, your whole body suffers when you have a sinus infection, and it's like having having the flu and like experiencing that fatigue from a virus and never recovering. That's what it's like. And so I was like, oh my gosh. I called my boyfriend up and I told him the news, and I started taking the nasal spray and the allergy medication she gave me. It took about a week to kick in, but after that, I literally feel like a completely new person. I'm like night and day difference. I have so much energy. I feel alive for like the first time in a very long time. I can't even remember the last time I felt this good. And I don't know, like, I'm just so thankful. Like, all glory to God. You have no idea. Like, I just wanted to get this out there and tell you guys, like, if you have something going on physically and you know that it's something more than maybe what your doctor's telling you, maybe what your friends and family are telling you, because my family and my friends really didn't understand and really thought it was just due to stress or just life getting older. Like, they didn't understand how everything that I was going through. They didn't understand that I was so tired all the time. Like, because they weren't in my body, they weren't going through what I was going through. So, but you know yourself, you know your body the best, and I would just encourage anybody out there that is suffering with any issue, physically or even mentally, like, go, keep seeking answers, keep seeking help. Like, it took me, I cannot believe it took me 3 years to get a diagnosis, to get, healing for this. Like, I can't believe it took that long. It should not have taken that long. But I'm just so thankful, that I do have an answer now, and I have gotten treatment, and I can move forward with my life and live long and happy. And, I'm really, really thankful. I just want to encourage any of you out there to keep searching for answers. It's worth it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. I also am very excited because I've I don't think I gained weight as much from my eating disorder than it is probably from not having energy to get up and move. So I cannot tell you how, like, energetic and how, what's the word I'm looking for? Athletic I have been, like, since I've been feeling better. I've been feeling better for about 2 weeks. I think it's been two and a half weeks that I've been on this medication now. I've biked 10 to 11 miles the past 3 days. And prior to that, I've been working out every day, eating super healthy. Like, I have energy like I've never experienced. Maybe when I was a child. I cannot even remember, like, honestly, when I felt, I can't remember ever feeling like this good. But, like, I have so much more energy to do so many different things, even like make a video. Like, I would have never had the energy or the brain power even to sit in front of a camera and talk this long. Like, I've tried making a YouTube channel multiple times before the past couple of years and failed because I have not had the energy to talk this long. My brain just did not function as quickly or as well. It's just like a night and day difference. I cannot explain it to you. If you're having facial pressure, don't just dismiss it. I dismissed it for a really long time because it wasn't my number one like issue, so I wouldn't tell the doctors about it. Granted, it didn't really start happening until like halfway through me like seeking answers, but I mean, like, just tell your doctor everything. Don't leave anything out, and you know, I pray to God that you will get the answers that you need, and that, you know, you're encouraged or touched some way by this video, because you can get better. It's not going to be, if you're struggling with a health issue, just hang in there. Like, it's not going to be that way the rest of your real life. You know, God is a miracle working God. I prayed for an answer. I prayed for a healing nonstop for this, and it took him a while, and I wish it would have happened sooner, but he's faithful, and maybe this is the reason why. Maybe it's because I get to share it with somebody else, and I get to, you know, provide that empathy and that support, because I know what that's like, to not feel understood, to feel like trapped in like a body that is just decaying, and feeling almost like helpless because I didn't know what was going on. And I just felt like it was who I was. I just felt like I was this just tired, almost very, what's the word? What's the opposite of an extrovert? An introvert. I thought it was like because of my introvertism. I thought it was because I was such an introvert that I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't have the energy to talk to people. That wasn't it at all. Like, I just chalked it up to all these things, and I really beat myself up. And I wish I hadn't have. So, yeah. Go get those answers, and sending blessings your way. I love you guys. All right. Bye.